I am on a mission to help coaches like you fall in love with marketing. And the way we can do that is by becoming brave in our marketing. Hello and welcome to the Brave Marketing Podcast with your host Swapna Thomas. This is the podcast for the renegades, the trailblazing leaders, and the change makers who don't just have a business, it's your calling. Those of you who want to make a difference and make money but all on your own terms. I'm on a mission to show as many life coaches as possible how you can have more income, more impact, and infinitely more fun by being unapologetically and bravely you and breaking all the rules. I have created 5-figure months with no paid ads, a tiny list, and zero complicated sales funnels. Simplifying marketing and teaching you how to use it for good in the world is my zone of genius. With this podcast, I'm here to share weekly episodes on the soul and the strategy of marketing, mindset, money, and everything online business. Let's dive into today's episode. I have been dreaming of this podcast for almost 6 months. And here I am now, finally recording it. My name is Swapna Thomas, and I have been a mom blogger and a content strategist. But in the last 3 years, I have been working with mission-driven life coaches to help them use marketing for good and make a whole lot more money while doing a whole lot less. I am on a mission to help coaches like you fall in love with marketing, stand in your power, and show up consistently to speak your truth and make tons of money while being true to your values. Yes, we can have it all. I truly believe that nothing bad ever happens when more soul-led women make more money, because we invest that money right back with other women in their businesses, give back to our communities, or create freedom-based lives for our families and generations to come. And the way we can do that is by becoming brave in our marketing. Now, most dictionaries will tell you that being brave means being fearless. But in my world, it's about being who you are, even with the fear. Because we are human beings with human emotions, and we are meant to feel all these emotions, even the ones that aren't our favorites. Bypassing these emotions or patching them up with some power affirmations can only take us so far. This is why being brave in your marketing and in your business is not about doing things fearlessly. It's about feeling the fear and yet knowing that our mission and our why for the business we have is way too big for us to give into the fear or make it mean anything about our capabilities. You can feel scared of being visible and show up every single day. You can have a breakdown every now and then, like me, and create life-changing programs for your clients. You can have ADHD, you can have anxiety or trauma, and make lots of money. It's not an either or paradigm. Being brave is so much more than being fearless. It's about being able to say yes to your desires. It's also about being able to say no to what does not light you up. And sometimes that might mean saying no to money or firing a client that's unaligned for you. It's about believing that selling is serving and your clients need your offers. It's also about having boundaries so that you are not emptying your cup while serving the world. It's about deciding and going for the big money goals. But it's also about letting go of the attachment and not letting money define your worth. In a world that pushes you to conform and follow rules, listening to your heart is brave. In a culture where hustle and being busy are seen as virtues, resting is brave. In an industry where blueprints and formulas are seen as the holy grail, marketing with your soul is brave. This is why I teach and talk about brave marketing. I have also created the Brave framework to show you what being brave in your marketing tangibly looks like. Brave is an acronym and it stands for bold, rebellious, authentic, value-driven, and empowered marketing. Now, let me share what each of these means in the context of marketing and what does that look like in the practical world. First up is bold. Bold for me is being real and speaking my truth. I am not a fan of putting other coaches down or creating controversy for the sake of controversy in my content. But from the very beginning of my coaching business, I made a commitment to always speak my truth. Speaking your truth in your content looks like saying what you know your clients need to hear, but might not always feel comfortable hearing. I have a belief that if you are people-pleasing in your content, then you will end up people-pleasing in your coaching. This is why I always say what I mean in my content, even at the risk of being disliked or not fitting in. And I truly believe that as long as I speak my truth, my soul clients will always see my heart. Here is why I'm so big on being bold in your marketing. Me being afraid that people will hate me for saying something or will unfollow me if I speak my truth waters down my content and makes it wishy-washy. The result? Not connecting with my soul clients. Sure, my opinions and thoughts might repel some, but it will only create space for the right people. And secondly, if I sign clients who are not used to my opinions or values, when I work with them, either I'll have to constantly walk on eggshells around them so that I don't antagonize them or trigger them in some way and worry that they are going to ask for a refund, or they might be completely taken aback and surprised by my thoughts and opinions and feel like they have made the worst choice. Either way, it does not serve my clients. And that is why I will always speak my truth and be bold in my marketing, and you should too. Next up is rebellious. I have always done things my way. While most coaches start their coaching business with one-on-one work, I started with group programs. I don't use content planners or actually any kind of planner. I don't batch content except these podcast episodes and sometimes reels. I don't use any complicated funnels, and honestly, I've never seen the back end of a funnel builder. And yet, I am successful. As a coach, every single day you will see 100 different ways of doing the same thing, whether it is launching, marketing, or selling. Do not give your power away to anything or anyone. There is no one way to do anything, and if someone insists that their way is the only way, run. Sure, you might have to take, a few different approaches and try a few different things to know what works for you, but developing your self-trust and the ability to take decisions is so worth making a few mistakes. You can totally scale to 6 figures or even 7 figures, as many of my mentors have, without a rigid plan set in stone. Don't want to do sales calls? Ditch it. Don't want to have Voxer access in your one-on-one? Out it goes. You want to create trainings with just a talking head? Do it. This does require the inner work to create a belief system, something that I'm going to talk about in an upcoming episode. So a belief system which increases your self-trust and confidence so that even when things are not happening as quick as you want them to, or something does not work out the way you wanted it to, you don't start doubting yourself and your worthiness. The A in Brave stands for authentic. One of my favorite beliefs that I have deliberately practiced is that the more me I am, the more money I make and the more fun I have in my business. And I can totally vouch for this. As you know, I live in India, and I delayed starting my content strategy business back in the day for months, to be precise, 6 months, because I was so worried about people not understanding my accent. But the moment I embraced my fear, I started doing lives and I started appearing on other podcasts. And the only feedback I received was that they loved my voice. I still remember the lovely messages I got telling me that they could listen to my voice all day long. Another example from my own journey is my trademark curly hair that you might have seen on the podcast cover. 3 years ago, I was constantly fighting my hair, trying to tame it and make it look straight because that's what I thought professional women look like. But the moment I embraced my wild hair, it was like a switch turned on. I was more confident, more powerful, and more me. And that was so magnetic to my clients. The key to creating a powerful magnetic personal brand is becoming the youest version of you. Your weirdness, your quirks, flaws, and the crazy interests you have, it all makes your energy so attractive to your clients. Got an accent? Flaunt it. Are you an introvert? Share all the introvert memes. Are you a Schitt's Creek fan? Use the GIFs in your newsletters. Or maybe you are a feminist like me and have strong opinions about body autonomy, women's rights, and the patriarchal culture. Talk about it. Stop hiding and start sprinkling your you-ness in everything you do. And watch how your marketing takes off. But this does require cultivating true self-love. If you are not committed to loving every aspect of who you are, then it's going to be hard to put your true self out there. And yes, there might be parts of you that you are not in love with, but you can still love those parts unconditionally. Now let's talk about being value-driven in your marketing. I know your business is not just a business for you, it's a calling. It's something you choose to do. So what's driving you? What are you here for? It is often something bigger than money. Maybe it's that you want to see more women heal themselves from the trauma of domestic violence, or maybe you want to help women have their best bodies while giving a middle finger to diet culture. Or maybe you want sobriety to be the coolest club in the world and you help people stay sober and still rock at life. And even if you're driven by money, then what's the mission behind that? Maybe you want to be the first rich woman in your generation, or maybe you want to take the control of your family's financial future and create incredible wealth at your own terms. It's all good. What's important is to have a cause behind your business. Here is why. Business is one big roller coaster, and the highs and the lows are equally unpredictable. Having a mission, or as I like to call it, a movement in your business, acts like the North Star in those dark nights of the soul and shows you how to stay on track and not get lost in the wilderness of disappointment. I can't tell you how many of my clients are able to crawl their way out of the niche drama when they discover the lifeline that their mission or movement is for them. More on that in an upcoming podcast episode. And finally, the E in brave is for empowered. Let's be honest, it's so easy for a needy, graspy, desperate energy to creep in your marketing when you are chasing money goals and clients. This is why we want to stay empowered in our marketing. Being an empowered coach who is calling in empowered clients. I can do a whole episode or rather two or maybe even more on these, and maybe I'll do those soon. But for now, here is what an empowered coach means. You know that while the money goal is for you, the offer, the content, and the energy is about them, your clients. Embodying your work, walking your talk, and keeping the focus on serving your clients is going to help you see them as grown-up, autonomous human beings instead of just a lead to be converted. And it's going to allow you to show up as your highest self, serving their highest self. An empowered client, on the other hand, is the client who is ready now. They don't need to be convinced on the value of coaching or investing. They have the money, they have the time and the energy or the willingness to create those for your offer. They don't need 100 different bonuses or discounts. The transformation has an internal urgency for them because they want to change now. When you create content being an empowered coach for your empowered clients, it automatically becomes empowered content. Being empowered in your marketing also means not consuming more content than you create. It means staying in your lane and not constantly ending up in a compare and despair situation. It also helps you not take rejections or no's from potential clients personally. When you tune into and dial up every part of the Brave framework in your marketing, you will see a paradigm shift in the way you show up and sell. You will not judge yourself for writing imperfect content or making typos. You will hold your vision even when it looks like nothing seems to be happening. You will trust yourself and make decisions like a badass, but also be compassionate to yourself when you're stuck in self-doubt or make mistakes. You will create a plan for yourself that lights you up and you will actually stick to it. Be bold, rebellious, authentic, value-driven, and empowered in your marketing. Be brave, and you will watch your business take off like never before. I know you would love to sell more and that you would love to sell more in a soulful way. This is why I have a free workbook called Soul-Led Sales with 11 journal prompts that have helped me and my clients have sold out launches with absolute ease. Just head over to swapnathomas.com/soul-led sales to download your copy. Have a great week. I will see you soon. That's the episode for today. Thank you so much for listening to this episode. I am thrilled to have you as part of the Brave marketing community. Because this podcast is still brand new, it would mean so much to me if you could leave a 5-star review, as that will make it easy for other brave hearts to find this podcast and grow our community of rule breakers. Until next time, have a brave week ahead.